Hi everyone, it's Eric from ecartman12.blogspot.com and welcome to my full review of the HTC One S. Now a big thank you must go out to Vodafone for sending me this handset out to review. You can pick this up from their website at vodafone.co.uk, free on contract for £36 a month. Now let's get into the review. Now, you've got a 4.3-inch Super AMOLED display running at a resolution of 960 by 540. You've got a 1.5 GHz dual-core processor inside here, and you've also got an 8-megapixel camera on the back, and that 1.5 GHz dual-core processor is very snappy indeed, as you can see when I'm just swiping between screens. There's hardly any lag noticeable. Now, let's just show you some of the photos that I've been taking with this 8-megapixel camera. I am so impressed that with a handset this thin, they managed to put an 8-megapixel camera in there. Now, okay, so here's one of the photos, and this one is fantastic. This I've been taking obviously of my HTC Desire S, and the detail is fantastic. I don't even need to pinch to zoom because the photo overall looks fantastic. Let's just have a look at the detail. You can see over here that there's hardly any sort of pixelation or anything at all. It's a really crisp picture. Even the dark areas haven't got any grain in there at all. Here's another photo I was taking, and this was of that Cada portable speaker, and look at that. There's so much pin shop detail going on here. Absolutely fantastic camera. Now, I was using the flash on this photo, so obviously you can see there's a bit of flashback on these metal buttons, but fantastic performance from the camera. Here it is, this one. This has been taken very nicely. Look at that. Fantastic rendition of the colours. The colours on this are fantastic. They're like so accurate, and there's no problem or anything at all. Even low light photos are done very well as well. Now let's show you some outdoor photos. Now here's a picture of a tree I took, and look at that. Picture zoom in, you see so much detail over there. And this was a very interesting one. There was a bird from very far away, and I thought I'll take a photo of it. And look, you can see it's very far away. Now I'm going to pinch to zoom in. Look at that, you can still see it. Let's go all the way back again, very far away. Now I'll go all the way in. You can see that over there. Absolutely fantastic camera. And here's another one, also looks fantastic as well. And this was also done very well. And this one I was very impressed with. Look at that. This is a macro sort of shot I did. You can see just absolutely so much detail coming out here. There's no distortion or anything of the sort here at all. And you can see it's got a nice depth of field. This is all in focus and that is all blurred in the background. It also captures 1080p HD video, and I'm going to pause this video now and show you what the video capture is like. This is being recorded with the HTC One S. It's capable of capturing up to 1080p HD video, and it's at 30 frames per second as well. And outdoors it's very clear. I'm really impressed with HD video. And look, if I go down to one of these, and if you just touch the focus, it does touch the focus whilst you are actually recording video. It automatically focuses, and it allows you to touch the focus, which is something you cannot do with the Samsung Galaxy Nexus. And you can see that it's got a very nice field of depth. It's focused completely on this, and the background looks all blurred. I absolutely love that. And as you can hear, it's a very rainy day, so we'll see how the microphone copes with all of this wind. And the rain has calmed down for now, thankfully. But yeah, I'm very impressed with the HD video recording. It's also great about this camera that you can also take photos whilst you're recording at the same time, which is a really great feature. And you can also do continuous shooting with the camera when you're taking still images as well. So, great camera overall. I would say the photos are not as good as what you'd get on, say, the iPhone 4S, but still very good. Okay, so let's get back to the review. So I hope you found that video sample useful, and you also heard me talking about the continuous snaps sort of feature. Now let's go into the camera and just give you a quick look at that. Now, first thing I wanted to sort of mention was that Pocket Now, if you check out their review, they said that there was no panorama mode. Well, there obviously is, because if I tap on this over here, it says Auto HDR Panorama. So you can obviously do panoramas now as well, which I can't do on video, obviously, because I'm going to have to move the phone. But as you can see, there's a panoramic mode. I don't know what Pocket Now was saying. Now let me show you what I was talking about on that continuous snaps. Now obviously there's some lighting issues going on here because my studio lights are on, but if I keep my hand on this, you can see in there it's constantly taking photos and adding them in. And then what you could do, it'll say which ones do you want to keep and which ones do you want to get rid of. So I'm just going to press delete and select all. There we go. So overall, the photos are fantastic. The video is not as good, but I still think it's quite good, and the audio quality on the video is also not the best. They should put better microphones inside here. Now, what else have I been using this for? Well, I've also been using it for something like YouTube. Been watching a lot of YouTube videos on here. And to avoid any copyright, let's just load this up over here, one of my videos. It's right there. Now, one thing I wanted to show you is that with this keyboard, it's not as good as HTC's regular keyboard, but what we can also do with it is swipe. I meant to say swipe. It's not the most accurate, as you can see. Let's write down accurate. There you go. It's not the worst. I'm still surprised at how great the swipe feature is, so it's there if you want to use it. However, I would just go to the swipe website and download the regular one. Okay, so we're loading up via Wi-Fi at the moment. Let's just go into one of the videos. HTC's RS running Sense 3.0 software review. And you can see you can flick between your info-related comments. And look at that, 7,503 views, 39 likes, and 2 dislikes.
Hi everyone, it's eCotman12, and in this video I will be reviewing HTC Sense.
Volumes on max, we'll see what the sound's like.
HTC Desire S. Now to prove this is a Desire S, take a look at the back. You can see there's a 5 megapixel camera, whereas the Sensation has an 8, and you can see the back of the body looks completely different to a HTC Sensation.
Okay, so that was a quick look, and the viewing angles, as you saw, were fantastic. The speaker at the bottom, I'm actually quite surprised. This is actually one of the best speakers that I've ever listened to on a mobile phone. It's like crystal clear, no distortion, even at the highest volume setting. And normally, speakers always tend to be like, they always distort on the highest volume, but this does not. It is a real treat listening to audio on this speaker. On the highest volume, it's very loud audio, and it's very clear. One of the best speakers I've heard on a mobile phone. So, I'm very impressed with using this as a multimedia device. For web browsing, it's equally as good, and as you can see, it's got some ice cream sandwich-esque over here, but as you saw, there was a bit of lag when it came to loading that up. But there you go, it's very smooth overall, and everything's quite good on there. One thing which is not very good, which I'm going to tell you guys right now, if I've got one. Okay, I haven't, so what I'm going to have to do is get a widget. Let's just get say the regular ones. When I say regular, I mean the regular stock ones. Let's just search YouTube. Okay, so the stock Android widget, let's just pop it on there. And here it is, the stock Android YouTube widget, and look, you can see that. Okay, it's not really doing it now since I'm on camera, which is very annoying, but most of the time, if I can drag it, most of the time when I just go like this, see that? It just scrolls to the bottom, and look, it's repositioning itself constantly. See? I have no idea what's going on here. It also happens when you're scrolling up, although it's sort of dismissing that fact I'm giving you right now. Probably it knows it's on camera, so it wants to... Oh, there you go. You can see that. These stock Android widgets aren't performing very well. The HTC widgets are working fine, but stock ones like this and the browser widget, they are going through many of these problems. And as you can see, you haven't got that carousel that you used to have in Sense 3.0, and you can't go back to the screen all the way at the end by scrolling all the way over here. I wasn't too fond of that anyway, and the carousel was there just for looks, and no one really used it. It was just something cool to show off to your friends. Now let's also show you the multitasking. HTC have changed the multitasking, although I don't see why they had to do that. It does work in both portrait and landscape view. You can close off applications that are from either side, which you can do, which is fine. But come on, why did HTC have to tamper with this? Why not just use the regular sort of multitasking you got on stock ice cream sandwich? That was much better. So overall, I'm not really particularly impressed with this implementation of multitasking. It's better than what you get in iOS and previous versions of Android, but it's not as good as what you got on stock ice cream sandwich. Now, could I recommend this phone? Well, this is a mid-end phone, meaning that it doesn't support the really high-end specs and stuff like that of the, say, the HTC One X, but this is cheaper, and over the One X, you have a much better quality construction on this mobile phone. This back is quoted to be 2 times tougher than stainless steel. So that is pretty good right there. And this mobile phone, really, I do enjoy using it. The screen is not 720p, and but to make up for this, they did give us a Super AMOLED display, which makes the colours pop just as much. And also, this is a sweet spot for a screen. I'd say this is the as big as I'd want a screen to be. And the HTC One X has got a 4.7-inch screen, and that is much bigger, so you're going to need much bigger pockets, and it's not really the most portable phone, and phones do need to be a right size. This is the right size in my opinion. I would say this would overall be a better purchase than the HTC One X. Sure, quad-core is nice, but you'll only really need quad-core for when you're doing really high-end gaming, and say video editing and stuff like that. But for regular web browsing, using stuff like TweetDeck and stuff like that, and the YouTube app, you'll be getting pretty much the same performance, and the camera on the back is pretty much the same to the HTC One X. I think, in fact, I've heard that it's almost identical. And the specs on this phone, apart from, the slightly lower res screen, the processor and the camera is better than that of the Samsung Galaxy Nexus. And also, people would argue, is faster than the Galaxy S2 as well. And this is mid-end, those were high-end, and the prices of those are coming down, but they still are quite costly. But this is one of the sexiest mobile phones I've seen. Very thin form factor, and you're getting loads of great features like a front-facing camera, a full 1080p HD video capture on the back, and you also get the 8-megapixel camera. So I would highly recommend that you get this phone. If you want a HTC One phone, but do not want to spend the really high price of the HTC One X, then I can certainly recommend the HTC One S. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Eric from ecartman12.blogspot.com, and I will see you all in the next video.